dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Guess what I'm reviewing right now? Episode 6. I realized that episode 7 is coming out probably a good 2 or 3 weeks from now. I want to get this review up ASAP. Let's just get into it. Hey guys, thank you for joining the quest again. I'm your host Marquise Underwood, and I'm reviewing Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. I think I said Revenge of the Sith in the intro. Oh well, kind of similar. But yep, Return of the Jedi. And this one, is good to be done. Well, at least for the moment. It's been a fun journey. If you've been following my channel since about April or so, I've been reviewing every Star Wars movie from episode 1, even did the Clone Wars TV show, and I figured I'd do this one, obviously. I don't thank you guys for following me so far. We went through the bad with episodes 1 through 3. We got to the good. And you know, I love this movie a lot, actually. I thought it's a good movie. I actually have a poster for this. Let me show you guys. Oh, well, let me show you guys my poster for The Force Awakens. It's badass, right? I know. I had to get it. $5 Rite Aid. Now, episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Honestly, this is probably the worst one in the whole original trilogy. Now, what I noticed in this movie that you don't really see in episodes 4 and 5 is Luke is very confident. You know, the first time you see him, he's established. He knows who he is. He believes in himself. He has no fear, really. He's just on a journey. And he knows what he is. He knows what he's going to become. So it's always cool to see that. You know, see him as this guy that's scared to understand the Force. In episode 4, in episode 5, he's getting there and he's becoming a Jedi because he's being trained by Yoda. And now this one, he's kind of more established and he knows where he is with the Force. So that's cool to see. We see Jabba the Hutt capture Princess Leia. And then Luke and Han Solo and everybody else, they try to help him, you know, stop, because basically Han, he owes Jabba, and so he's just, you know, holding Leia hostage, and they have to get Leia, but things go wrong. They get captured, and they escape, and Boba Fett, guess where he falls? To the Sarlacc pit, which is kind of a crushing blow if you're a fan of Boba Fett, because, well, he's one of the most liked characters in the whole universe, and just the way he dies, at least we think he dies, kind of sucks. But he may come back. We also see the Emperor for the first time in the whole original trilogy. And I like the consistency, actually, because episodes 1 through 3, it kind of shows how he has like the old marks on his face. And in this one, you see it. So I like the consistency there. And he's just as bad. You saw that he's trying to bring Luke to the dark side and try and get rid of Darth Vader on the side. Try to have Luke replace him, basically. And you see the evilness within the Emperor. And that's just, it's just creepy. The way he does business, the way he talks, he's just very sinister, and I like that about him. We also see something called the Ewoks, which are basically the precursor to Jar Jar Binks, but they're not as bad. I like the Ewoks, actually. They kind of like these little furry teddy bears. Just think of some like Care Bears with weapons. That's basically them, to be honest. They help out the rebels defeat these stormtroopers because they're on a planet called Endor, and the Emperor is trying to get rid of the family so that Luke can convert to the dark side. And you know, they help them out, and I like it. And I also like when they praise C-3PO, because they finally kind of give C-3PO at least like a comedic moment in the whole series, and that's probably my favorite scene in the whole original trilogy, actually, just when they praise him and they want to do whatever he says. And I think that's kind of funny in my eyes. Yoda dies in this one, unfortunately. He has to die eventually, you know, after all the stuff he went through. But it's a sweet death, unlike a lot of the people that he's known in his life. But Yoda dies, and he tells Luke, really, that there's one more like him. And then Luke figures out it's Princess Leia. Yep, they're twins. Who knew it? He kissed his sister. I wonder how he felt about it after he found out. But yeah, basically in this movie, Darth Vader is on a mission to find Luke to try and convert him to the dark side. The fight between Luke and Vader, it's just amazing. It's great. Definitely one of the best. I like how you kind of see that even though Luke is established, he still kind of takes things into his own hands, even though he's a Jedi, because like a Jedi is not supposed to strike first, but he then attacks Vader first in the fight at the end of the story. And also, you know, there's this part where like Darth Vader, he says he knows that Leia is his sister or so, and she knows basically that Leia has the ability to learn the Force, and Darth Vader's like, if you don't convert, I'll get Leia. And so when Luke hears this, he basically just goes off and just tries to hack off his arm. You know, he's like, ah, ah, ah. And he's just trying to take his Darth Vader's head off, and it's amazing to see that the anger is still within him, and that he's like so much like Anakin, but as we see, he's going to be different than Anakin in his choice. But after doing this, he realizes that he's becoming like Anakin, and he's becoming the man that his father was. So he stops and he says that he won't join the dark side. The Emperor gives us this ultimatum. He doesn't accept it, and so the Emperor does like this Force lightning, which is like the first time we see this in the whole trilogy. So this is all new and unique. And Vader has to decide on if he has to kill the Emperor to save his son, or is he just gonna let his son die? And well, he throws him down the shaft, and we have this touching moment between Vader and Luke. And I really like that. You know, Vader asks his son to take his mask off so that he can see him with his own eyes, because he understands what he did basically, and that's how he almost converted his son to be like him. I thought it was a really touching moment, in my opinion. That's always, you know, cool. And actually, with Vader throwing the Emperor down the big ass hole at the bottom of the thing, Vader actually fulfills the prophecy of bringing balance to the Force. So it's ironic that he has to become like a bad guy to do his job. But it's kind of funny how things work out if you really think about it. Then you have the whole celebration, and Vader, you know, he's burned because they burn everybody in this universe when they die. And I just like this. And they bring well, in the special edition, it's Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker for some reason. I don't know why George Lucas changed that. But in the original, it was some random dude, but you realize he was Vader. So it's just a unique take, and I kind of like how they ended the story. Overall, there are some scenes in here that could have been taken out, but I do like the movie. I think it's good. I'm giving this movie a B+, a 3.7 out of 5. This is definitely the worst one in the original trilogy, probably the third best in the whole franchise from 1 to 6, but it's still a good movie, and I can watch it. I like the Ewoks. I like, you know, when they play C-3PO, as I said. I like, you know, Vader and his temptations to bring Luke over. I like Luke being established but still being tempted. I just like the whole story and how it's going. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in episode 7, actually, The Force Awakens, because, you know, there's a 30-year gap in between. I've been reading some of the comic books. I've read Lords of the Sith, Tarkin. I'm kind of still in the beginning of Aftermath. I still have to get Lost Stars. I haven't read none of the teen novels, but I have been reading the comic books, so I have a pretty idea of what's going to happen in episode 7 and some theories. Actually, I did like this essay on my theory of what's going to happen in episode 7. I'll put the link in the description. I'll also put it on the screen for you guys, and I think you guys should check that out. I put movie reviews on that website too, so check it out if you can. I'll probably put a review up for Creed for that one up there too. But check it out if you can, as I said. So, have you seen Star Wars Episode 6? If you have, comment below, and I want to know, what's the best movie in the Star Wars original trilogy? Comment below with your thoughts. Let me know what you think of Episode 6 too. Again, I'm your host, Marquise Underwood, and join the quest. Here's the view, and also I'll put it right here in the video up right.